Some people don't get tired because they're social. They get tired because they're constantly adjusting. Reading the room, matching the energy, holding themselves together. Psychology says if this feels familiar, it started for a reason you probably never questioned. Most people think feeling drained after being around others means you're introverted or antisocial or bad with people. But psychology sees something else. It sees a nervous system that learned early on that being aware was safer than being relaxed. You didn't become drained. You became alert. And there's a big difference. 1, your brain learned to scan before it learned to relax. Psychologists call this hypervigilance. It means your brain automatically watches for emotional shifts, tone changes, and tension in social spaces. Not because you're anxious, not because you're weak, but because at some point, someone else's mood affected your safety, stability, or belonging. So your brain adapted, if I notice first, I can adjust first. If I adjust first, I can prevent problems. That pattern becomes automatic. You walk into rooms already monitoring, and monitoring is exhausting. 2, you perform calm instead of feeling calm. There's a difference between being calm and appearing calm. Many people who feel burned out after socializing aren't relaxed at all. They're regulating, holding their reactions in, softening their tone, choosing their words carefully. Psychology links this to emotional self-regulation under perceived threat, not physical danger, relational danger. Your body learned that showing too much, saying too much, or reacting too honestly once had consequences. So now you stay controlled. Control looks peaceful, but inside, it's effort. 3, you became good at becoming what others needed. Psychology calls this adaptive mirroring. You unconsciously shift to match the emotional tone around you. With stressed people, you become steady. With quiet people, you become quieter. With intense people, you become calmer. Not to manipulate, not to be fake, but because your brain learned, belonging increases when friction decreases. So you learn to bend. Flexibility kept you included. Eventually, flexibility became identity. 4, you associate connection with work. Some people experience connection as easy. Others experience it as something that must be maintained. Psychology links this to conditional belonging. When support felt inconsistent, the brain adapts by trying harder. You become more accommodating, more patient, more careful, not because you're weak, but because your brain learned. Effort equals closeness. So now even casual interaction costs energy. Not because you hate people, but because your body expects connection to require labor. 5, you were never taught how to feel safe while being yourself. Relaxation in relationships is learned. It comes from being accepted without performing. If you didn't get enough of that, your nervous system doesn't recognize ease as normal. So instead of dropping into presence, you stay in awareness, watching yourself, editing yourself, managing yourself. That's not a flaw. That's a nervous system that never got proof it could let go. 6, the strength inside this pattern. People who develop this adaptation often have high emotional intelligence, strong intuition, deep empathy, sharp pattern recognition. You notice shifts others miss. You sense tension early. You understand people quickly. These are advanced skills. You earn them. 7, the part no one talks about. When you spend most of your energy adjusting outward, you forget to check inward. You ask, are they okay? Before, am I okay? Over time, you function well, but feel disconnected. Not because something is wrong with you, but because you learn to survive, not settle. You're not drained because you're bad with people. You're drained because you learned to carry emotional weight that was never meant to be yours. You're not broken. You adapted, and understanding that is the first step to choosing something softer.